listing strategies to jumpstart your way to a $10,000 a month income. What I'm going to share with you today is really important for you to follow. First, we're going to go over to 5 things that you need to know before listing an item on eBay from Amazon. Now, if you already have some listings, I highly recommend going through this as well and going back and editing any of your existing listings you may have up. Number 2, we're going to go through the 6 things that you need to know about listing on eBay so that your listing stands out and gets your items sold. These are some of the techniques that they are not sharing within DSD itself's training. And third, I've thrown a little bonus here. What if you're really brand new to eBay selling? You've never sold anything on eBay. You've never even been on eBay before. Well, I'm going to show you the one thing that you need to do that so people will buy from you. It's also not part of the DSD original strategy. So, well, who am I to be telling you all this? Well, my name's Samantha Gardner. I'm a work-at-home mom, and since I started the DSD program, I've been able to cut my working hours in half, and I have doubled my income in the first 6 weeks of the DSD program alone. Mind you, I also took 10 days off for Christmas during this time, and I'm well on my way to a solid $10K per month income. So let's go ahead and get started and get you going. Well, here are the 5 things that you need to know before you list any item on eBay using the DSD system. Number 1, you need to watch all the videos in Pro. I can't stress this enough. You need to watch all 19 modules. Most of them are under 10 minutes. Plus, you need to make sure you click on those 3 links within the resources section found at the bottom of the modules 16 through 19. They have additional training videos as well. I want you to make sure you go through every training and video in there first. I really recommend going through a lot of them twice. There's lots and lots of little details that you can miss that's included in this training. So I also want you to go back and watch the last 1 or 2 live training calls. They're typically about an hour long. They're recorded webinars, and they always include updates. Now, when I'm recording this, we're at the beginning of January here, and a bunch of different states have new taxes for Amazon. Well, you need to know what those are and if there's anything that you need to do to adjust your listings to reflect some of these changes. So make sure you always are watching and going through those live updated training calls because they really do provide updated information that really can help you make the most of your listings. Number 2, change your pictures. You can use the stock photos from Amazon, but you need to make sure you're using a tool like the DSD Cropper software or GIMP to make those little changes that they talk about in DSD. I think this is something that people are missing. It's highly important to do. Number 3, you gotta check daily. I know as much as I'd like to say this is a set it and forget it kind of business, it's not. Until we have the new price tracker tool from DSD, and if you're watching that and it's already come out, be so thankful. But up until now and going forward at this point, you need to use a spreadsheet. You need to include your name of the product, the URL, and the price it is on Amazon. You need to make sure that your items are in stock and they don't have a low inventory. I'm sure you've seen order now, only 2 left in stock, more on the way. Stop selling those things. End the listing now, or raise the price up crazy if you have the room and the limits on your account. Don't sell something that's out of stock. It's just really important. You don't want some negative hits early on your account on eBay, especially. The price tracker will really help with that when it comes out, but until then, make sure that you are checking this daily. Prices do change, prices go up. I've known a lot of people that have lost money just not checking on their listings, so check daily on your inventory. Number 4 is title it differently. Roger does go through this in DSD, but I can't stress enough, you don't want to use the exact same title as Amazon, but you also don't want to use the exact same title that everyone else is using on eBay. One person finds a listing and then they start copying it, and it's the same title over and over again. Be creative. Put a little time into this. Think about the keywords. Go back through DSD modules 7 and 8 again. Also, consider working with that DSD title builder. That is a great way to like spur your head into some ideas and really get to know what is it that you're doing and what else do you need to add. Number 5, all the accounts are different. I'm really finding this as I've gone and I'm working with some people now and, working with a lot of the members of the Renegade Domination team. eBay, if you're brand new, you could have limits as low as 10 items and $1,000 if you're in the United States. Internationally, I've heard it's even smaller. But once you've had a couple of successful sales, this quickly jumps up. So if you have a really old account, some asked me if you should use it. I said yes. A lot of the old eBay accounts, especially if you have an eBay account that's greater than about 7 years, we're finding, you're grandfathered into a lot of things. You're grandfathered into much higher limits. So don't be afraid to go back and use a really old eBay account. I mean, even if you have to call support to get them to help you find the password because you can't get into that email anymore, it's worth doing. And if you already have an account, don't open a new one, especially if you're getting started. A lot of people race out and open up 2, 3, 4 eBay accounts. Roger goes over this in DSD, but please stick to one account. PayPal. If you're new to eBay, even with an existing PayPal account, business account that you've done a lot of money through, they're most likely going to hold your money in the beginning. That is not true in every case, but a lot of times it will. So make sure the items you're listing are something that you can cover for until you can get your money from PayPal, which could be up to 10, 15, 20 days in some cases. Usually they'll tell you right off, but make sure that you have a credit card limit or access to funds so that you can buy the item, ship it to the customer so that you can get the funds released, especially in the beginning. Don't ever list more than you can't cover is the golden ticket I've told people. Some people have tried to go out and sell things that are, even though they don't have any limits on their account, they've gone out and sold some big pieces of furniture and stuff, but PayPal was holding their money and now they're having a hard time coming up with a way to pay for the items. So make sure that just be a little careful when you're getting started. I'd rather you take it a little slow, a little more steady in the beginning, so that you have success and you're not banned from eBay or run into PayPal problems. Let's talk about 6 things you need to know now about your listings on eBay so that your listing stands out and you get your items sold. Number 1 is use more than one photo. Sometimes there's only one photo, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. eBay will reward your listing and ranks it higher on the page when you have more than one picture. 3 is really the recommended minimum that they recommend. I've talked to eBay directly about this. They have specifically even said that yes, your listing will rank higher the more pictures you have. It's just a simple fact. If you only have that one item on Amazon and it has one photo, Google search it. See if the manufacturer you can get any other photos or somebody else you can get photos from. Also you can zoom in on an image. Take a screenshot of the color of the item more in detail, or a corner of the box or something. Create some other images out of that one image that you have. You're going to be rewarded for it. So make sure, take the time, use more photos. Number 2, change your text. Yes, this could be a cut and paste business, but make it sure that it reads well for eBay users. It's a very different format when you're looking at an eBay screen than when you're looking at an Amazon screen. Still think about those keywords that we talked about when you talk about titles. Change it. Don't make it exactly the same. You're going to be rewarded for spending 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes making some adjustments to your listing. Roger doesn't go over this, but I'm going to go over this in much more detail. Shipping and handling in the text of your listing. eBay does have that estimated shipping calculator, and Roger shows you how to put in, 3 days handling time, 5 days ship, all of those type of things. But I want you, inside of your actual listing text, list handling is X business days after payment has cleared, whatever X is for you. Are you going 1 day, 2 day, 3 day? Make sure you read on Amazon, how long does it take before they're going to ship that item? You think it's usually the next business day, but occasionally they have items on Amazon, they'll even say 2, 3, 4 business days before they're going to ship it. And if you get the order at 5 o'clock on a Monday, but you don't put it in until Tuesday morning, well, that's already one of your business days in eBay's, in that buyer's mind. So, be careful. Shipping, add this sentence, shipping is up to X business days. How long is that item going to take for them to ship to them? I'm really going to highlight this here. You want to put this on your listing. The third thing you want to make sure you list is business days are Monday through Friday. You need to make sure that this is not just your shipping is up to 5 days. It needs to say business days, because FedEx and UPS, even though they do some deliveries on Saturdays, the vast majority of their facilities do not run at full capacities on the weekends except during the holiday season, and they are not making deliveries in the volume that you would like to see, especially not only Monday through Friday. So do that. Always overestimate your shipping and handling times. There is nothing worse than an upset customer over not getting their item in time, or that they think they're going to get it quicker. Back to this estimated shipping calculator, it will give them a very broad range, and then when they buy it, they will estimate how much time they think it's going to take for that person to get there, and they always give them the lowest. So by having this phrase in your listing, you will save yourself a lot of trouble. I recently just had someone come back to me and say, I didn't get my item yet. Well, eBay, even though I had said that was going to take it on the listing, it specifically says it takes up to 2 business days to ship, and 2 business days to handle, and it takes up to 10 days to ship. That's 12 business days. The Google estimated shipping calculator had calculated that it would take 4 days to get to her, and she was already expecting the item. So once I clearly pointed out to her, and she filed a complaint with the Resolution Center on eBay. It's not scary. It's all okay. I clearly went back. I showed her the tracking information, and I showed her and I also showed that I clearly stated the shipping times on that, and she was like, oops, sorry, my mistake. I didn't have to pay for that. I ended up with a happy customer, and eBay doesn't have an issue with that. So overestimate if you do nothing else. And also make sure you include what Roger says in the video: no Alaska, no Hawaii, no PO boxes, no APOs, no FPO, and also add nor international or international. You don't really want to get into international shipping. Most people assume you don't offer international shipping. You block it, but occasionally I have had a couple incidences where there are centers where you send the item to them and then they ship it for you internationally that are on eBay. They're services that people in foreign countries are using, and they can get to be a bit tricky too. So make sure you add that to your listing as well. Number 4, return policy. Clearly spell out your return policies on your listing. Is it 14 days? Is it 3 days? What do they need to do? What packaging does it need to be in? What if it's shipped damaged in shipping? Who pays for the return shipping? Make sure you develop this whole policy out and list it on your list. Show it on your listing. Don't just assume that they're going to read or click that tab to go read what your return policy is. Make sure it is spelled out. You can go around eBay looking at a lot of other people's return policies. Gather up what you like, what works best for your products, but make sure you add this return policy to your listings. It's going to save you a lot of aggravation as you go down the road. Number 5, check it on a mobile device. They estimate that over half of the eBay sales are completed completely from a mobile device. So download the free eBay app, check it on an iPhone, check it on Android, check it on an iPad, check it on another tab. Borrow people's stuff. Ask them if you can look at your listings, real quick on theirs. Can you read the text? Is it too small? Is it too big? How is it reading on a mobile device? Because that is the way of the future. People are moving completely towards that, and how things appear on the eBay on a visual screen out of a computer or a laptop is completely different than they do on the mobile device, because people do use the eBay app. So definitely something to check to make sure as you're going and you're getting started, so you don't want to end up with not having sales because they couldn't read it on a mobile device. This last one, I don't think a lot of people really talk about, but I have found that it seems to be adding a little bit to my sales and my success, is I make it personal. I add a little profile. I'm going to show you 2 examples here in a second. Add a fun picture, a cartoon, a logo. And add a short description of who you are and how you can help them. People want to know from people. People want to buy from people they like, know, and trust. So here are 2 examples. Which of these 2 are you going to buy the same product from? Cool BB. He's based in the United States. Cool BB has been on eBay since March of 2011. Well, he's got some good feedback here, which we're going to talk about just in a second. Some positive, a couple negative. You're going to end up with this, and it's all right. Now this one is Small Town 78382. Howdy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just a small town single mom with 3 kids in college. eBay has helped to make this possible. Let me know how I can best assist you in finding that specific item you were looking for. Who are you going to buy from? Same item. Great feedback. Most people, they're gonna pick, oh, you know what? I totally can relate to that mom. I'm gonna pick her. eBay is a little bit about being social too, so make sure you remember that when you're doing these things. It's not just strict, cold, hard business as you would think of like Amazon is. This is a little bit social, so keep that in mind as you're going. There's a really when you log into your account, right about trying to grab my little pen, it wasn't working here. Right below follow, there's going to be this edit profile on your own listing when you log in. And go ahead and just click on that. Go ahead, add a little something, and upload a little picture here. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes to do this, but spend a few minutes. Who are you and why should they buy from you? Here's my little bonus we're going to go through. This is definitely not covered in DSD. This is completely optional, but I think I have found it to be kind of a little bit that I've seen, and the little bit we have tested, this is something that has really helped propel people forward. If you are brand new to selling on eBay, there's one thing you need to do so people will buy from you. It's reviews and stars. People really do look for this feedback. They call it a feedback score. I've put up a link here. You can go learn more about that. But basically, what this feedback score does, next to someone's ratings, and we'll go back here real quick. Next to these people's ratings, there was these little stars. Next to their name, they both had these same color little stars. And when you look at all the listings, you'll see these stars. Well, they kind of tell you, how is that person doing? Yellow's kind of a beginner, but, got good ratings. People look for stars. When you're new, you're not going to have any star ratings and you don't have any feedback. So, how do I get some feedback then? What I want you to think about doing is auctioning or selling off some of your own stuff. Yes, this is not as easy as drop shipping. Yes, you're going to have to take some photos, you're going to have to pack up the items, and you're going to have to ship them. But people want to know that you are a real person and that they can trust you. So, what do you mean? Sell what? You're going to sell your own stuff. Do you have some DVDs that are still in the packaging that you've never opened? Do you have some, if you have children, do you have some toys that they've never opened, they've never played with? You're going to want to sell them, I'm going to recommend that you use the auction method. eBay does a fabulous job of explaining how to use that. Ship it only in your home country, especially if you're international. I'm speaking to you. Ship in the country that you live in. Sell it in the country that you live in. Let's get you some feedback, rating scores. Sell it cheap. This is not about, about making money on these items. These are about just getting A, some experience selling on eBay, and B, getting some feedback and some ratings up there so that you're not just one of 100 other people that have no feedback scores and are selling the same things. It's going to make you stand out a little bit. Make sure you have them pay and cover all the shipping costs. Make sure you use tracking. Make sure you follow up with them on eBay with contact the buyer, see if they got the item okay, ask them if they can leave you a review. You can do all of those things. Let's, get out there, give some customer experience, give them some great service, and you're going to be rewarded with some great initial feedback scores. And eBay loves this too. eBay looks to see that you are a real seller when you call to raise your limits. I was just on the phone with them again the other day. They love seeing that, oh yeah, I have a lot of items that I'm dropshipping. They know it, but I also have items in-house. I've got a stellar feedback score. I've got raving reviews. They have absolutely no problem every 30 days raising my limits now. They like this. They want to see that you have product in hand, that you understand eBay, that you love eBay, that you're making this a business. For them, those are the people they reward with higher limits, of items you can sell and of the amount you can sell. So I'm hoping this is all sinking in. I know it's a lot to take in. I'm probably going way too fast through this, but look at what you have in your home. What do you not really need? What could you sell and, maybe not really make any money on it, but make A, some experience, and B, get some feedback, which really, really will help drive sales. So, want to wrap up with a couple things. Should you go DSD Elite? It's a question I think I've been asked more times than I can even explain. Yes, when you can afford it. If you barely can afford the $20 a month plus, covering back and forth a couple things on PayPal and eBay, wait till you have a couple more sales and do it. I really recommend, if you're really struggling at that level, sell a few things from around your home. Ask family members, do they have anything they want sold on eBay? These things are, really big help. I mean, you tell somebody that you could sell their stuff on eBay for them, and you'll split the profits 50-50 with them. You will end up with a house full of stuff, let me tell you. I accidentally told one or two people, and I was shocked at what they just gave me, and they said, just sell it and keep it. I just don't want it in my house anymore, but I hated to throw it out. So, think about that. Yes, go to DSD Elite once you can list more than 10 items. When you're really, really stuck at this 10 item limit, it's hard to really use all the amazing resources that are within DSD Elite. So go ahead, sell it. After you sell one or two items successfully and they get tracked and shipped and they show that everything went fine, you almost always get your limits raised. So keep that in mind. Yes, if you're international, if you do not live or do not reside within the United States, from day one, I want you to consider going Elite. Elite has a lot more international training. It is much more thorough on international, has a lot more international sites that you can sell within your home country. So if you are international, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, any other country other than the United States, I want you to really consider going DSD Elite from day one. And yes, if you're ready for more sites and strategies than we can provide by just using Amazon, absolutely consider DSD Elite as the next step that you do need to take to really grow your business. The profit margins are bigger. The number of items does grow, believe it or not. Amazon is just the beginning of things. So consider that, think about that, but when you're ready. We're not trying to force anybody into going into Elite, but very quickly I think a lot of people will be ready for all the great strategies you can find within Elite. And I just want to wrap up with this. if you have any issues or problems and you've gone to the Renegade Domination team site, you can't get your answers there, or you have a really specific question and you've gone to the DSD support and you haven't heard back, if it's a problem with eBay, call them. Under the customer support tab, there's a contact eBay tab. Call them. Also, if you go there, they have an amazing amount of information that can help you with almost any problem you have. If you type it in there you're looking for, it pops back up. They have some of the best tutorials I've ever seen on listing, on changing, on problem solving. eBay actually really does a great job in training you on what you can do with eBay and how you can resolve issues. So, they want to see you successful. eBay doesn't make any money unless you sell things. So they are there to help you. Don't be afraid of eBay. Just don't go crazy. Don't try thinking this is going to be an overnight success. Make yourself different. Make yourself stand out. And I wish you all the best success. Thanks so much.